Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Frank, for that beautiful prelude. Aloha kakahiaka kako, melikaliki maka o Keola Ko'uinoa. And I know Olelo Hawaii is a close cousin to Te Reo Maori, so no translation is needed, but I'll give you one anyway. Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. My name is Keola. And just want to give a few greetings. Greetings to all of the Auckland Unitarian family. Welcome to our visitors. Welcome to those on Zoom. I understand we have a worldwide audience today, so welcome to you. And welcome to this beautiful church made sacred by Auckland Unitarians for more than 100 years. I'm your guest worship leader and speaker today. I come to you from the island of Maui in Hawaii. Thank you for putting up with an American accent this morning. For those of you I haven't met, when I was here in April, I'm finishing up my studies at Star King School for the ministry where I am studying Unitarian Parish ministry. I'm going to be done next year. I'm so excited. And it's a pleasure to be with you today and always. Now let us move into our chalice lighting, a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. I'll read these words as Rachel lights the chalice. We light this flame in December as the year turns toward its end and beginning, as we gather this season of reflection and celebration, of joy and complexity, of light in the darkness. May this flame warm us and help us see each other clearly. Thank you. I know the tradition for you is to have opening words by someone. These opening words are by me. So as you know, today is Summer Solstice Sunday. It's also 3 days before Christmas. Some of us come here celebrating. Some of us come here running. Some of us come here hoping to be found. All of you, all of us are welcome here. Whatever you're carrying today, you can bring it in. You don't have to have it figured out. You don't have to be fixed or healed or ready. You just have to be here. So let's be here together. And now let us begin with our opening hymn. So please stand in body or spirit and sing, O come, Emmanuel. Thank you. Now let us repeat our church's covenant. Love is a doctrine of this church. In quest of truth for its sacrament and service its prayer.
To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
Since it is Christmas season, we're going to go right into another hymn. Since we were just standing, why don't we stay seated for this one and let us sing, What Child Is This? I can really feel those hymns when the organ plays in my body. Now is the time for joys and concerns. We pause at this time to hold and honor the very personal joys and concerns of this gathering. I invite you, if you have a joy or concern, to come to the front, say your name, light a candle, and briefly share your joy or concern. Or on Zoom, you can raise your electronic hands and you'll be called on as we see you. I invite you now. Let me just confirm there's no other joys or concerns online. Okay. 12 people. I think we have some of my friends from Hawaii joining us this morning. So good morning or Saturday afternoon to you. We will hold all the unspoken joys and concerns in our hearts, and thank you for sharing this morning. Now we'll move to the Koha Hymn. Rachel, may I ask, do we usually stand for that one? Okay, so please stand in body or in spirit for this hymn, which is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. All right, the reading today comes from Dr. Seuss, and it's at the end of the Grinch story, so let me set the scene for you. You may recall that the Grinch went to Whoville and took all of their presents up to the mountain in his lair in order to steal Christmas and was really excited to hear them sing sad songs. And that's where we join the story. And the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He started down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or other, it just came the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say, that Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Before we begin the sermon, why don't we just sit for a second of silence and meditation. If you get comfortable in your chair, let's just take a cleansing breath together and just sit for a moment. Now, please come back to this space. So the Grinch and Scrooge are my favorite Christmas characters, not in spite of their cynicism, but because of it. They're the only honest ones in their stories. Everyone else is performing joy, pretending that Christmas magic just happens naturally. But the Grinch and the Scrooge, they've done the math. They've weighed Christmas against their pain. They built excellent walls to protect themselves from a holiday that demands vulnerability that they just can't afford. And here's what I love the most. They're not wrong. They're not really villains. They're survivors, and they do what survivors do. Until, of course, they're visited. That's the word the stories use, visitation, not invaded, not confronted, but visited. Something arrives, unexpected, unwanted even, and breaks through despite their defenses. Cindy Lou Who's guileless question, the ghost of Christmas present showing Scrooge how others speak tenderly of him despite everything, and Tiny Tim's genuine affection. These visitations don't shame them into transformation. They crack open something the Grinch and Scrooge thought that they'd sealed shut. The possibility of being seen, being loved, being part of something larger than their own protective isolation. That's the pattern. They build walls, and love finds them anyway. And I think that's the magic of Christmas, if there is any magic. Not that everything becomes perfect, but that something breaks through. Something visits. Something finds us in our isolation and says, you're not alone. You never were. I'd like to take you back to a Christmas when I had my own visitation. It was 2011. That year was a tough one because I had become single after the most significant relationship of my life to that point had ended. My ex had made me a better person. He encouraged my intellectual curiosity, traveled with me around the world, and seen me more clearly than anyone had to that point before. And then it was over. I was devastated, gutted, walking around with a hole in my chest, and underneath the grief was a fear. What if I could never find love like that again? What if I used up my chance? I wasn't particularly spiritual back then. I'd stopped going to church, couldn't manage the earnestness of it, the expectation that you'd show up with your heart open. My heart wasn't open. My heart was locked in a box at the bottom of a well. I didn't want to go home for Christmas that year. Home meant pretending I was happy when I wasn't. I couldn't perform one more minute of okayness. So I did what any self-respecting Grinch would do. I ran. I went with two close friends, people who had seen my tears, who loved me without me requiring me to be okay, all the way to Puerto Vallarta, to party, to escape, to dance under disco balls and colored lights and forget everything. No nativity scenes, no obligations, just music and permission to be lost. I wanted to be lost. I didn't want love to find me, not romantic, not familial, not spiritual. I just wanted to disappear into the noise and the heat and not have to feel anything for anyone. I was the Grinch on his mountain. I was the Scrooge in his counting house. I had done the math, and I had decided that year Christmas wasn't worth it. Vulnerability wasn't worth it. Love wasn't worth it. Not anymore. Not after what love cost. And then Christmas Day arrived, even in Puerto Vallarta, even in dance clubs, even when you're running. I remember we were on the dance floor surrounded by strangers. The music was loud, relentless, perfect for forgetting. And something happened on that dance floor during the forgetting. A guy tapped me on the shoulder. Of course, I presumed he was there to flirt with me and just wanted to get closer to dance, so I prepared myself. I remember he was wearing red, green, and white, which I immediately thought, these are Christmas colors, but then I remembered those are also the colors of the Mexican flag. But he wasn't there to ask me to dance or buy me a drink. He just said, with a big grin on his face, "Merry Christmas." That was it. Merry Christmas. For some reason, time slowed down because I was reminded that it was indeed Christmas. I remember in that moment, I could hear Christmas music playing from outside the club, mixing with dance beats inside. From what I recall, it was Silent Night outside, and Rihanna's We Found Love inside, which let me tell you is the weirdest mashup ever. And in a way, it was beautiful. I looked around to notice what Christmas was in that moment. I saw my friends dancing, having fun. Saw a couple of people kissing, people taking care of each other, listening and laughing, and everyone just having a great time. And then all of a sudden, with this realization that it was Christmas, my eyes filled with tears because I saw it. The space between us right there on the dance floor was holy. All of it. Sacred. Every bit of it. Some of us had come here running from something, breakups, family rejection, loneliness, grief, the weight of pretending to be okay in a world that demands okayness. We had come to this dance floor a little hopeless, a little broken, a little lost. And we were loving each other anyway. Strangers caring for strangers, friends holding friends, chosen family being family in the truest sense. We're finding love in a hopeless place, just like the song says. I had run all the way to Puerto Vallarta to escape love, and all of a sudden, in that moment, I saw love all around. I don't know what happened to that stranger who gave me an unsolicited holiday greeting. He must have disappeared into the crowd. I guess he wasn't there to flirt. I later realized that was my visitation. Not a ghost, at least I don't think so. Not an angel, well, probably not a literal one. Just a Christmas wish and love, unbidden, on Christmas Day, in the last place I expected it, in a form I didn't know I was looking for. And then I looked up and I saw it, the disco ball. It was spinning above us, catching light, throwing it everywhere, on faces, on walls, on moving bodies, on strangers kissing, on friends holding each other. And it wasn't generating light, it was reflecting it. It was reflecting us. It was reflecting me. It was taking one source and multiplying it and scattering it, making sure everyone got touched by it. And I thought, that's God. Well, not literally, of course, but that's what God is. Not some distant light source demanding worship, but something that reflects us back to ourselves and each other, something that catches whatever light exists and throws it everywhere on everyone without judgment, without discrimination. Something that reminds us to keep dancing, even when, especially when we thought we were done dancing. Think about it. The disco ball reflects you and me and the spaces between us. It reflects light so we can see each other better. And it keeps spinning and moving, keeps reminding us, dance, keep dancing, even in a hopeless place, especially in a hopeless place. And this disco ball doesn't care about respectability. It doesn't care if you're in a cathedral or a trashy club. It just catches the light and throws it everywhere and lets the sacred land where it lands. Yeah, God was manifest there in that disco ball. And here's what I've learned. You can't outrun the sacred. You can't outrun love. You can build the most excellent walls, climb the highest mountain, lock yourself in the tightest counting house, and love will find a crack. Love will visit. Love will show up on a dance floor on Christmas Day and say, there you are. I've been looking for you. And that's the magic of Christmas, if we're brave enough to call it magic. Not the magic of perfect families gathered around perfect trees, not the magic of perfect presents, solving problems, or everyone getting along. That's not magic. That's a picture book fairy tale that makes people who can't achieve it feel broken. The real magic is this. Love visits, even when we're hiding. Even when we're running, even when we decided we don't want it, can't handle it, aren't worthy of it. Love shows up anyway, in forms we didn't expect, in places we didn't think to look, through people we didn't know we needed. The Grinch doesn't transform because the Who's shame him. He transformed because he realizes that they love each other and might even love him despite everything. Despite his cruelty, despite his theft, despite his years of isolation, he's seen and loved anyway. And Scrooge doesn't transform because the ghosts scare him. He transforms because he discovers he's been loved all along by Bob Cratchit, by people who kept toasting him even when he was terrible. He was never as alone as he thought. That's the visitation that matters, the discovery that you're loved, that you've been loved all along, and the walls were keeping out the very thing you needed the most. We all run sometimes, we build walls, we all have seasons when vulnerability feels like too much, when Christmas feels like a demand we can't meet, when the gap between how we're supposed to feel and how we actually feel becomes unbearable. I get it. Maybe you're nursing a broken heart. Maybe you're grieving someone. Maybe your family is complicated and painful. And maybe you've decided this whole Christmas thing isn't worth the risk. I see you. I was you. I am you some years. And here's what I want to tell you. You don't have to perform joy you don't feel. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to show up with your heart open if your heart is locked in a box at the bottom of a well. But, stay open. Even if it's just a crack to the possibility of a visitation. Because love is relentless. The sacred is stubborn. And Christmas magic, the real kind, not the Hallmark kind, is simply this. Love finds a way. It finds a crack in your walls. It shows up on a dance floor when you're trying to disappear. It arrives through friends who see your tears, through strangers who make space for you, through moments of unexpected tenderness that break you open, whether you plan to break open or not. You might not be able to outrun it. I couldn't. I ran all the way to Mexico, and love met me there on Christmas Day, under a disco ball, in the space between bodies on a dance floor. The magic found me, and it will find you too. And here's the other side. You might be somebody else's visitation. Right now, someone in your life is on their mountain, behind their walls, someone who's decided love isn't worth it and that Christmas is for other people. You might be the one that breaks through. Not by forcing cheer, but by seeing them, by showing up, by being the love that arrives exactly when they thought they were alone. Your text to them might be worth more than you know. Your invitation might be the crack in someone's wall. And your presence might be the visitation that changes everything. And you don't have to be healed or healing. You just have to show up. Be the disco ball. Catch whatever light exists and scatter it everywhere. That's how the magic works. That's how it's always worked. Not through perfection, but through presence. Not performance, but by showing up anyway. Even when we're broken, even when we're running, even if we're not sure we have anything to offer. Because we become each other's visitations. We become the magic for each other. So here we are, 3 days before Christmas, summer solstice, the longest day of the year here in Auckland, light everywhere, nowhere to hide. Whatever you're carrying today, grief, heartbreak, loneliness, exhaustion, you're allowed to carry it. You don't have to be healed or fixed or ready, but stay open. Just a crack, because love is looking for you this Christmas. It will find you at a summer barbecue, in a text from someone who noticed you're struggling, in the space between friends who love you. It will find you in unexpected places. The sacred doesn't care where you find it. It shows up on dance floors and beaches. It spins above us in a disco ball, scattering light, reminding us to keep dancing. So may you be visited this Christmas. May love find you wherever you're hiding. And may the magic break through your walls, not to invade, but to remind you, you are seen, you are loved, and you belong. And may you be that magic for someone else. May you be the visitation. May you show up for the Grinches and the Scrooges in your life, not with forced cheer, but with real presence. May you reflect the light, and may you scatter it wherever you go. The sacred goes where the dancing is, and the magic this Christmas is simply this. Love visits, love finds, love breaks through. You can't outrun it. I tried. Thank God I failed. Merry Christmas, Auckland Unitarian. Keep dancing. The light is here. Amen. Now we will move into our closing hymn. So please rise in body or spirit for O Come All Ye Faithful. We're doing one verse. I love Christmas in Unitarian churches. You know, all year we're questioning, we don't know quite what we believe, and then we can sing out Christ the Lord and at Christmas time. Now for today's closing words. Go now and be the disco ball. Catch whatever light you find and scatter it everywhere. Reflect love back to those who've forgotten that they're worthy of it. Keep spinning, keep dancing. The light is here. Amen. Now we will extinguish the chalice. Rachel, may I ask you to do that? And we will say the words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or the power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So much light this morning. Okay, so we're going to have the postlude in a second, and then afterwards we'll get into discussion groups of about 5 or 6, and the discussion question will be up there, but I'm just going to read it for you because there are a few questions. The sermon talks about being someone else's visitation, an unexpected moment of love breaking through. Has someone been that for you, or have you been that for someone else? Have you discovered the sacred in unexpected places? But for now, please sit and enjoy the postlude. It's beginning to look like Christmas.